Hi there, this is Paige with Stamp Girl here on YouTube, and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm sharing with you the cards that I made for Craft Hour Paper Stash. This is hosted by Deb, who is Deb Hauk's Crafty Cottage, here on YouTube, and down below I'll leave a link to all the participants in this collaboration. So what we are to do is make some cards. We've kind of chosen 5 as a number, but it can be more or less depending on the time we have and the supplies that we use. And then everything is from our stash. We haven't gone out and purchased anything new to make these cards. So let me show you what I used for my cards this time. I used this Stampin' Up! Stamp called Love is Kindness. Now I don't recall if this was sold. I know this was sold as an individual stamp. I just don't remember if it was in a catalog as an individual stamp or if it was a celebration stamp at one time. But it's been quite a while since this has been in my stash, and I just loved the look of it. There's no date on here, but I have to tell you I've had this for many years, and this is the first time I've used it. And after I used it to make these cards, it's like, why did I not use this stamp sooner? It's just beautiful. It stamps out so nicely, colors up so nicely. It's just a true favorite of mine now. I also used some burlap paper, some different scraps in here. When I have I don't save a lot of scraps from my paper pads, just because I have so much paper that I'll never be able to use. I don't need to use the scraps too. I'll save them if they're large pieces. But having said that, if it's a specialty paper, I will save just about any size scraps. So I've got this burlap thing I purchased in 2013 from Joann's, I believe. I also used this, also from 2013 and Joann's. It's called the Gauze Paper Stack. I love it. Some of these colors are perfect for Halloween, and some for fall, and some for just whenever the image is right. So I used some of that. And then I used this cardstock pad, Canvas Home Basics. I'm not really sure where or when I purchased it, or if I got it in a D-stash or it was gifted to me, because this little tag doesn't make any sense to me. It's not a store I live anywhere near. But anyway, Craft in Black. I love Craft cardstock. Craft Black, White, and Red is my absolute favorite color combination. Anyway, I used some of the prints from here along with this stamp, and let me share with you the cards that I made. So here is the first one. All of them have a white card base. All of them have one of the printed craft papers on it. And then they all, I believe, nope, some of them have a large stitched oval die cut, and that is from CC Designs. And I also used a smaller stitched oval die on the gauze paper and the burlap you'll see on some of the cards, but of course the stitching, you can kind of see it on the gauze paper, but not too much. This is some scalloped edge linen ribbon from Stampin' Up! This is Purple Posy. I die cut an extra circle from craft foam and popped this image up. And this is another stitched oval die from CC Designs. And what I did is I did partial die cutting so that I wouldn't cut off the tops of the tulips. And this one, I colored these with Copic markers. And the sentiment on here says, "The essence of love is kindness," from Robert Louis Stevenson. So there's one in purple. I did one in teal because of the teal colored gauze, and it went nicely with this pretty peacock linen thread. And I did the same thing. This is popped up with craft foam, and I did partial die cutting to save the flowers. The insides of the cards are scraps of what I used on the outside and some ribbon. Let's show you this one. Oh, this one I layered with another piece of that pattern paper and the ribbon. Then I've got one using, it's more blue than gray, but when you put it by blue it looks gray, and when you put it by gray it looks blue, this gauze paper here. But I paired it with some of the Rococo Rose linen thread. And then here's the inside. And then here's one using the mauve kind of Rococo Rose gauze paper and the linen ribbon. And there's the inside of that one. And then the last two that I have to share uses burlap. And this is some Stampin' Up! Ribbon as well. I don't recall what it's called, but I think it's like two colors kind of woven in together. It's very pretty, and then it has a texture to it. It almost feels corrugated. It's just those little bumps like corrugated paper. But there you can see the ribbon a little bit better. And if Deb is watching, she'll know exactly what that ribbon is called. And then my last card is this red one. And this is, I believe, some old ribbon or trim from Stampin' Up! As well that I've had in my stash. So they were all made basically the same, and just the colors were changed, the paper patterns were changed, and in some cases the layering was changed. But I love how these all turned out. I think what I might do, I've got 6 cards. I'm either going to package all 6 up with envelopes as a gift set, or do 2 sets of 3. I haven't quite decided yet, but I just absolutely love how they turned out. I'd like to thank you for joining me. If I haven't mentioned before, down below will be a link to all the participants in this collaboration, so you can check out their cards this month. And now I'm off to create.